on a map that Heroic are 10-3 on this year in their favor. We have nothing numerically that screams NiP in this series. A bit of a scary veto for them has left them in a predicament, and now we see these two captains clash in the Scandinavian smash of NiP and Heroic here on Inferno. Heroic certainly look ready for this 2-0, but they've got to put it in, Harry. They've got to finish the job and take us to playoffs. Of course, this will leave the loser eliminated. But I will say, NiP have had a good tournament so far. A better sign for a team we had low expectations of in this year. And so they seem to be on the right track. But it may not matter. Heroic running straight up B in this pistol. Yabi's lurking middle. And it's only Rez on the site. 2 nades, though. He's going to give it up. He's going to double nade Coffin. Let's see if Heroic are ready for it.
There he gets his info. Knows that they've taken top banana away, but Heroic are getting tricky with it. They show a bit of presence over here towards B, and now they back off, fixating their attention on taking top mid away. They've got one smoke to work with, but NiP are crunching this. NiP are about to meet them here. It is an all-out brawl up in top mid. NiP go 1-for-1, and Heroic ease off. Both sides give each other the respect here. Yabi, next point of contact, and he wins his fight. Config has slipped the net, made it up and past them. He should grab this kit on his way to rotate, but it hinges on him staying alive versus Yabi. Over at B, Rez is still sat on these nades. They've got to be great. First one goes out now.
Too late.
Ooh, the cross down into the pit did leave him. A little more damage by the nade, but Tessez lives to tell the tale. Config still just having his time wasted by Yabi, who was up in the apartments earlier on, and this is great. Really nice way of just locking him out of retaking this. Sure, he's going to hold this. He'll probably get the kill, but is that going to give you a leg to stand on here? Not really.
No way to win this round, so just trying to kill them on the retreat. If only Rez had the kit. He's got some frags on his plate, but back of the head hitbox, easier said than done. Ugh. Doesn't matter here. Heroic win that pistol round. Nice little back and forth, the seesaw on the T side that we see so much. And works well on Inferno, as well as Vertigo. Which was, for me, a surprising veto to see Heroic even pull in early in this series as well. But they've left themselves with very comfortable maps. And Mirage to finish. The NiP are trying to drag us there. Going to force up in round 2 as well. Definitely a good map for it, and with 4 smokes as well, they can stall out Heroic. Well, they can at least try.
Yeah, I'll say this, though. Heroic have been pretty keen to fight at every opportunity across this game. I don't think it's going to be the case where, you know, they're going to give you a huge deal of time at the start of the round to hold on to these smokes. I think they're going to be pretty active in pressuring them out of you. So getting away with the kind of smoke delay play on the force buy might be harder versus Heroic with the fashion that they've shown across this event so far. For example, stavn should be about to get rid of this one smoke over towards B. That flash comes out. Rez, it's already going through his mind. He knows, you know, he wants to hold on to it for as long as he can, but he also doesn't want to give away the B site control. And so at this point, you know, what was smokes for everyone except for one man on NiP is now just one smoke remaining. And with a minute left still to play for, you ain't delaying this too much.
Or denying it, no. Heroic are about to pop this B site as well. Yabi hanging around in the apartments. There is probably a gun here for NiP. They're probably going to get this AK out. Ooh, that's a big kill. That might change things. Yabi's playing in the smoke on the fade. Which will he take first? 1 and then 2. Yabi, that's sick. And just living here is everything, denying that pickup. They're going to rotate round to Yabi. They don't know about Config in the pit. This is a little awkward now. Heroic can't make up their mind. Stuck in tandem, stuck in limbo, will recommit to A. Config can win this round right now. 10 bullets, 20 seconds.
Every shot's got to count, and Config, it's 1.5. cadiaN holds down the long side, though, secures that kill on a man in rotation. With Brolin dead, they feel comfortable planting this bomb. They knew that Rez was all the way over at B, and so he's left a long way away in this 1v2.
Give it a go. Nothing to lose, and guns everywhere.
Yeah, bare minimum, you will make this expensive. You already have. Anything else is just icing on the cake here. Kit dropped over towards short as well. That gives Rez an extra 5 seconds to work with here. Creeping on up. cadiaN's tucked in, grabs the AK, they hear that, so now that's info for Heroic, and the reload is optimistic. cadiaN just peeks off the back of it and knocks out the AK that Rez was hoping to save.
There was one bullet in the AK, one bullet before that reload, so unless he's going for the tap, yeah, had to do it, but cadiaN just peeks, doesn't he? Rez not even allowed to save. A little awkward, but you kill that double app setup. What's the last thing you're expecting? Config in pit as well. So NiP were really committed to that. They had a nice setup. Config tried his best, but Heroic do get rid of the force.
The mantra I do play with is that if you fire all the bullets, exactly that happens, right? When they pick
Someone
it up,
picks
they
up your
got to
gun,
reload, they
ammo.
can't actually fight back, right? So.
No, it's a really good idea. Until your teammate picks up your gun.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't happen. Just win every round.
Simple as that. Just hit heads, Heroic.
So now just down to pistols for NiP. They've got the smokes again, but you know, I really don't think this is a round that they should be able to do much damage in. Tess says with his MAC-10 is going to look to get involved early already. That applies more pressure to these 5 smokes that are in play. He's going to be very in your face throughout the majority of this round. You know, there are a lot of teams where the smoke delay play works wonders. And I don't think the Danes are one of them.
You also expect it coming. If you see like 2 smokes in this round, you know there's probably 3 more. So you'll try and play around that little pop out of apps. It's the perfect counter right now. Jumping in with the MAC-10 and Tessus. Tessus is blind. Tessus is okay. So is Hedrick apparently. He held that shot. Just stalling out the kill.
Tessus is like, I won't tell if you don't, Hedrick.
Pacifists in the site. But it's still Heroic with this 3rd round.
Yeah, nice and clean. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Heroic. Getting off to this 3-0 start, landing after finding these conversions. And we are about to have this buy coming through for NiP. And it should, I mean, it could be lacking the AWP. You can make a case that Hedrick can look to bring it out glass cannon, and a big part of me does want to see him, you know, try to have as many AWPs as he can on this CT side. But it's not a risk you really want to take, especially when you know still like the SMGs in play. Heroic have been pretty quick in this one, so you feel like you want that utility. So he's lent into just the rifle here.
Yeah, first go round, take some control, force some respect, condition Heroic a little bit, maybe take banana. They only start 2 players here, though. Got some kind of smoke getting set up. Heroic actually smoke car out. Yeah, but he's going to get flashed apps, or he just walks through. In fact, after the Molotov, Lexi confirms that. Config is in ult mid. He's pushed through apps instantly, and they're going to have no clue about this one. If anything, Shush being delayed in spawn, picking up nades could be to his benefit.
How did he cross past this double apps hold?
Well, yeah, he jumped up from Balk, so he cleared that after.
Oh,
this is so
buddy.
weird.
This is really peculiar, and the alarm bells are kind of going off for Heroic. They're like, how is he here? Very, very deep behind enemy lines. Config is on an island right now, left fighting. But honestly, the more time he can waste, the better. And he's constantly going to keep you guessing. You never know where he's going to appear next. Reposition. Config leaves him with a 2nd kill. And look at how mobile he's being. He is playing this perfectly. He knows the one thing going his way is that element of surprise and the idea that he could get to anywhere in between these fights. He tried to keep them guessing for as long as he can, but getting out of the round with the 2-for-1 and wasting so much time off the clock is big for NiP.
This is scary because Heroic threw in a moto smoke, so that's pulled Brolin off the B bomb site. It's put the fear in NiP, and Heroic can just contact into B right now with only 1 player there. They've got some nades getting stacked on coffins. Rez is dead. Rez is dead. He doesn't know. They're going to land 1, 2, and he lands on 8 health. Lucky to be alive. There's a full molly execute right now. 15 seconds. Rez does get finished off. Set up by the utility. Heroic might be able to win this round despite Config's heroics. Brolin killing 1 here, goes every way, but not going to be allowed. And cadiaN cuts down, rotates. That's a 3-on-4, right back the other way for Heroic. 3-on-5 after Config's antics. I love that nade stack as well. To think 1 smoke got Brolin off B. He Didn't even play, near his team on the B site and just held CT from ruins. Went for the full rotate, and Rez had nothing to do there. They're even going to find him.
Ooh. They're right here. They are right here, but Alexi holding his breath as any move would give this away. Gets out with the M4 at least, so that's something for NiP. Heroic already in a really good spot here. And yeah, I do love that last round. They throw the nades onto the coffins. And also, like, considering it starts like this, they do a good job of recovering. They also seem like pretty aware of the idea that, sure, config's deep, but it's not like, as weird as this sounds, even though he's like getting info, it's not super useful with so much time left. It's not like that's going to shuffle around the setup or anything based on what he's seeing. He's kind of in the thick of it, in the eye of the storm. So he knows that Heroic are just focused on dealing with him. And so then that still left them, paranoid. As you say, when that Moto smoke comes over the top, they didn't have the info. Oh! Yappy! They line up as they try to get that trade. He just holds Mouse 1 and reaps the reward. Head trick blown out the water as well. And a convincing fifth about to appear on the board for Heroic.
Blimey.
Already NiP must be quaking in their boots.
That's terrifying, isn't it? Yabby just continues that spray, expects a second.
Look at them, they're all hunting this.
Yeah. Heroic there.
They can exec B.
Yeah, do it. Oh, wall banged out. They never saw him. They just spammed that pillar. 5 alive and 5 on the board for Heroic right now. They are controlling this game. A very strong T side at the moment. Headtrick brings his first AWP into the fray, but we've already seen Heroic, trying to play ahead of it in the first gun round, smoked car. They don't want Headtrick to get anything done with this AWP. They're going to be ready for it in a gun round like this. The only thing that has looked good for NiP in this game was Config's aggressive move that still wasn't enough in a 5-on-3. Headtrick going to give it a go. There's no one in mid. He realizes that. Without a single flash thrown up mid, often standard. Oh, wait, what? Did he hit that with the AWP, or was that... No, that was Alexi. No assist, so he dinked him. Headtrick dies out in the open. And Heroic happy to trade that 1-for-1. Even if it is Yabby going down. NiP rotate a third player to B. This is the right time to make a read. They even wanted to aggress. That molly will deny it. Heroic is setting up smokes.
Oh, NiP are starting to move up. This flash is going to come in. It's nades on everyone. What? No one was holding for that. cadiaN had to adjust in the moment. Alexi spams him out. I don't know how.
He was not aiming there.
That was like just full RNG from the run. And now just TeSeS left. Great timing on that push for NiP. Normally, if Heroic kind of had all their pieces still up, someone would have been holding that. Someone would have been waiting for the push in on the back of the flash. They just didn't have the manpower in the moment. TeSeS left up in the clutch, swinging out, gets the info. There's 2 here. We're not going to make this any more palatable, any easier in the round. Just needs something big individually, and it's not looking good as he comes through the smoke. Alexi will find him, finishing this one off, and NiP are on the board in round 6.
Trying to get the boys hyped back up as NiP find their first. Yeah, nice re-aggro there. They were going to do it regardless of whether Heroic were making noise in Banana, because NiP went for a gamble anyway with 3B. They may as well get something from it. And so walking straight into Banana is a nice round for Brolin. This one for Alexi. And hopefully we can see Brolin get activated on the CT side now after a very poor first map. Headtrick again peeks down middle, a safer angle. Of course, got to be wary of Boiler, so can't remain there forever. Your openers on CT mid are constricted by the timing of whether T's have run up alt mid, run into apartments. Don't want to get caught looking the wrong way. Heroic going for a B hit anyway. Yabi again is just trying to sell a fake, get that long smoke in, keep the attention in the wrong position. 4 players here. Rez will get that info on the banana take, and he can call for a rotation. Roland needs to move pronto. They're going quick. He's going to smoke. He might need to molly as well because the MAC-10s are coming, but he holds on to it. Flash lands, does nothing. Rez wins his fight, but it got the rest of the players blind, so they will not commit for the trade. This has left Heroic in a very uncomfortable position. Their molly dodged by Rez as he goes underneath, and they can't find him.
Wow.
He has somehow escaped.
Smooth moves from Rez to still be alive, still play into this round yet. Yabi sees a shadow. That's going to reward him for his patience, and now the bomb's coming back. Heroic is so mobile.
They're retaking.
NiP lobbing in this util, trying to take the space back at B. Stavn still here. Is that Thorn in their side? Low on ammo, but he completes the kill. And oh, man! Make it more! Stavn, just the gift that keeps on giving for Heroic.
He 1G'd, Harry! He 1G'd!
At the end of all that, he burns!
He 1G'd.
And so now Hedrick 1v2, laid out ahead of him. He's had a slow start to the game, but given his weapon a choice here in the clutch, rooting in through the apartments, he will meet cadiaN here. cadiaN's not ready for this. Around on the timing. Hedrick bests him in the head-to-head. Now it's Yabi down in the pit, trying to take this one over the line, and he will nail it. Heroic running away with the T side.
All right, Stan, what happened? Show it. What happened? Tell me right now. That was sick, though. 4 bullets, and he found the last bullet headshot. Somehow gets a reload as Alexi corners him and kills him.
You know, if you want to talk like... There are just some fights that you know that you should be winning. There are some that frustrate you more than others. Yes. And if that wasn't one of those fights for Alexi, then I don't know what is, right?
Yeah.
You know you've got him reloading, he's boxed in, you hit him on the spam, you see all the blood come out, you see the dink, and yet still he wrecks you, he shreds you after the reload. And so those ones, you know, they kind of get in your head a bit. They stick with you.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. Alexi's like spamming him. He knows he's low. Okay, here's the molly. And he tried to fight CT, but the molly spread. It's not the worst, but also,
no,
I don't know.
He
did you not see it coming?
He had a sick debut on, like, you know, just before that, right?
Yeah.
So you can write that off. That's one that in hindsight you can actually laugh about a bit.
Nah, it didn't matter at all, did it?
Yeah, he'd already lived up to his side of the deal in that round.
It gave Hedrick $300, as suicides do. So, hey, if someone was going to get the money, may as well be the AWPer. Oh, Yabi is just on one today, boys. I don't know what they've done to him. He's powered up with another double in the apartments. They walk right into his crosshair. 5-on-3, and Yabi, when you get those double entries, you just take him and run. Hedrick won't be clear. They saw that rotate, not the sight man, but they can check it out. They can do it together. Takes 2 to tango, and so Shush cleans it up, and cadiaN's killing rotates. This is an easy game right now for Heroic. They are not being tested in the slightest.
This is a Yabi that just wants this over and done with, wants that playoff berth to begin his rest and recovery heading into it, right?
Fantastic,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's channeled in. He wants this over as fast as it can be over. And it's looking good for that to happen. There's been very light resistance from NiP across this game.
NiP are helping it, right? They're giving him double apps pushes every other round. And they haven't taken banana yet on the CT side. Triple B this time. Hedrick's AWP looks... But Heroic, they're just going to pop mid again. They are going to avoid this entirely. Anti-flash is nice for Alexi. He can play and block them in the smoke, but they come through perfectly with the entry. Config, he's in hot water as well. That flash at least buys some time as Yabi's blind, and he takes one with him, but again, it's not enough. Starting Triple B, NiP are locked out by double smokes on long, and they will have to save. Heroic are just about to find out that this round is finished. 8-1 right now. And this is the Heroic that we usually see. This is the Heroic we expected, that we didn't get in that big game, that we were worried about. Not anymore.
And what a way to do it. I mean, this is a statement, right? This would be a crazy dominant series. 16-5 on the first map. Now they're up 8-1 on the second. Like, they don't just want to make it to the playoffs. They want to get there and send a message. Yeah, okay, we might have had our struggles. We might have had some rough looks in there, but Heroic are back now, right?
It's so cool how many contenders we have for the title here in Rio because of, you know, even as cadiaN gave that, like, very real interview about you know, priorities, and with the major coming up and Heroic's current form, I think there are so many teams that could fight for it right now. We have Heroic on the repeat final Rio attempt. Oh, they will save the orb. We have Na'Vi, who look in great form, just won the first map over Big in overtime. We have Furia and Cloud9. Yeah, sure, questions on both, but also in an upper bracket match for a semi-final and quarter-final placing. FaZe eliminated earlier, but Vitality's form has been immaculate. I mean, there are so many rosters right now you can make an argument for.
And it's sick because for a lot of them there is this history, right, with major playoff appearances for a lot of those squads that you just listed, right? This idea that they want to try and do right by it the second time. Then I also think the inclusion of you know, the Cloud9, for them these events are their major now, right? Like they don't have that big event waiting for them at the end of the tunnel where, yeah, you know, you can maybe justify a bit of a slip off because as long as you try and show your best face there, it was all going to be fine. But nah, like they don't have that anymore, so they've got a lot riding on showing their A game here in Rio. I think that's going to push these other teams as well to really up the level.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't call it right now. It's very open.
Plus, you know, this is an exciting time for Furia, I think, because they've like revamped the playstyle a bit. They've tried to vary it up. Maui described them as similar to an EU team now.
I think he called them a boring EU team.
A boring EU team, yeah.
Maybe that's nice. Maybe that's, you know, boring sometimes gets the job done. Look at VP. Not here, of course, but, well, sometimes gets it done. Let's not talk about recent form. Headtrick with a quick shot. They're coming in very fast right now. They're going to trade him on the site. Man in the pit smoked it. They should know about this possibility. Alexi's drawing attention. Config needs to activate right now. He has a freebie on his plate as they nade him. 2-on-4. The bomb's going B. It's empty,
dude,
Harry.
This is why I love cadiaN. Like, he's so mobile. He's got such a good read on when he can get away with these last-second rotates. And he knows he's outbrained them here. He's given a route into the 2v4 with that bomb plant. If you're NiP, these are the rounds that you have to deliver on. These are the ones that can either bring you back into the game or take you out of it entirely. cadiaN's holding a deep line in through the spawn. They give him a little jiggle, but it's that second man that's a little closer. Brolin moves in. Yabi with the backstab. For cadiaN now, this is a survival mission. How long can he stay alive? Because the longer he lives, the more room is given to Yabi to try and win the round. cadiaN is trying to play this one as late as he possibly can, but the molly forces a fight out of him, and he dies only landing the tag. Yabi now springing the life, knocks them off the bomb, and robs this round from NiP. Statement from Heroic as they cook up a 2v4, denying NiP even a second round in this game.
Nothing comes for free, Harry. Never take your eye off the ball. Never rotate off the site. You think you've got them where you want them. No, it's by design. That is a beautiful round from cadiaN and Yabi. And this guy putting up clutches, putting on a star performance today after stepping out of the match last night, forcing the coach to sub in, something we've never seen. And Yabi shows up after a good night's sleep and sends NiP back to bed. That is unbelievable. And poor Brolin as well, who has just had a rough game, but even some of these rotates have left massive gaps. He communicated well to his team that cadiaN was scoped deep there, but it does not matter. cadiaN bought just enough time. 15-4 on Yabi. And that's a killing blow right there, Harry. That's you know, it's not GG.
This is NiP, if they were this fighter, this you know, carrying the metaphor on, this is them like stepping back into the ring when they shouldn't be there, right? Like they are beyond repair, it feels like.
Nice push.
Heroic have handled the business. Config with a backstab. At this point, you're kind of just force sending anything. You're throwing a Hail Mary their way, hoping that this is the answer.
See ya.
You were going for any sort of response you can. Throwing punch after punch, and Headtrick, missed shot on the mid-fight, goes back in for more and will tip the scales to the favor of NiP.
Oh, NiP in the advantage, so it should be their round, right? Right? 3-on-2, and they're going to push down Banana. stavn with the bomb, could get caught here, and he's going to scope up just in time. Alexi's also on the corner.
Does he wallbang?
No.
Oh, he hit it! He hit it! Alexi's freaking out right now.
Same.
You're kind of questioning everything at this point in time, and now you've been tagged through the wall. Headtrick holds the line.
Yes.
Deep push down through alt mid. Strikes one from the tally. It's another clutch round needed for Heroic.
He can go long.
These are the ones where NiP have flubbed it in the past.
He's going to hunt this kill. He's going to climb up. He's got him trapped right now. No? Crawling under, just trying to get out for the plant. Needs to clear Balk as well. Knows this player probably hasn't left the apartments. Rerouting to short for head trick. stavn has the plant if he wants it. Trying to make up his mind. What does he do? Does he have his protocol in place? Where does he go? Re-smoke, close, head trick. With the AWP, shotgunning, stavn sees it, goes up, head trick has to make noise now, and stavn attempting to hunt this kill while he's got it. Low health, finish the job, but stavn gets run down, and it's NiP finally with something to celebrate. A second round on the CT side. And Alexi will grab that AWP and the defuse. Beautiful round for head trick, hit some very important shots. But I can't say I wasn't scared.
Yeah, but you know, it's in these kind of dying lights of a game. It's in these moments where you're so on the back foot, and the idea of coming back is so inconceivable, right? You're staring, you know, this was like this all or nothing game, so you're staring the prospect of coming close but getting eliminated one step short of the playoffs. These are the kind of, if anything, they can sometimes feel liberating, right? Because you say like, okay, at this point, you know, maybe the wheels come off a little, maybe we go a little unorthodox with it, but screw it, take some risks, really get up in their face. And this is where, you know, for someone like Config, he can excel in that sort of environment. Head trick as well, just throwing himself into fight after fight, feeling like he's got to be a playmaker, like he's got to be involved. And so sometimes this can be liberating. Sometimes this can give a team that second win to try and get back in. So much of that, though, rides on chaining these rounds together, because for NiP, you know, that one comes down to denying a clutch attempt, comes down to the 1v1. And so the money is still in a really precarious spot. And if they get reset now, Heroic go right back to this kind of path of destruction that they've been on, you know, then they are out of it. So this is where you've got to stand and deliver if you're NiP.
A little flash into B for Brolin. Gets ahead of them though. There's a remolly. This could cut him in half. Brolin's blind. He has to fight. And Shush will take him out. There's that molly for Rez, but this might just be the beckon to push for Heroic. They consider it. And they make NiP panic yet again. Giving room for Yabby to lurk. Right now he's smoked off. Heroic will join him here. They have no util left, you'll note. Just a smoke on a Molotov. That's an important re-smoke to cut Yabby's line of sight off. He would have loved to pick right now. Heroic just have to make do with what they've got. Alexi and Config versus all of Heroic right now. cadiaN clears the flank, reassured in a 5-on-2. And if you're not getting a multi-kill, you're not winning this round, NiP. Config is in a horrible position to do anything here. He can try his best, but they will clear him, you think. One kill. Config goes back for more. There's a nice spray, and he does all he really could in that position. But NiP, do they even attempt it with no kit?
I mean, there's a part of you that feels like you have to, right? That only brings you into the line of fire, and you sacrifice one of these guns. You know, this is as a result of the score line we're at, how this game is slipping away from you. Rez kind of felt the pressure to at least give it a bit of a look in, especially with head trick close by. But giving that kill away and setting up the 3v1 means that Heroic, they don't let these streaks happen. They don't let NiP build back into this game. They close the door on them straight away. You always knew it was going to be an uphill battle on this second map for NiP, right? History has not been super kind to them here, and the same can't be said for Heroic on the other side. That's why your heart sank after you got dominated on Overpass. You knew that the steps to follow were not going to be easy.
And even a third timeout. Slowing down what feels to be inevitable as long as they can right now.
They come through with this timeout. Chance for DJ to get involved, but I mean, you know, he's kind of... He's trying to bring to life a team that was somewhat dead on arrival into this second map, right? It is a nearly impossible task for him. You know, you imagine in that 30-second time period, what are you going to say? What are you going to say that brings someone like Brolin back into the fold when you're staring this elimination dead in the face, and he's had a really troublesome go at it? What little nugget of knowledge are you meant to drop in that suddenly makes this heroic T-side unravel?
Oh no, the boost! Head trick almost gets caught by it, but the nades kick up so much dust. cadiaN's scoping up close mid. They're on a boost as well, so he's got to be careful. If Yabi goes out, he probably just wins around here. Oh dear. He's back to pit. This guy knows what's going on. Catches Alexi in the close mid position. You know there's more of that where that came from, and they will just feed themselves to Heroic. Apartments has been Heroic's all game, and so has the game. 5-on-1. No hope, no savior, no chance. Teslas goes through the smoke, and he even clears res.
Dude, I've really enjoyed watching Yabi play over towards these apartments, man. He looks so at home there. If he doesn't get contact as he comes out, he just kind of writes off pit entirely. He goes like, well, they should have been fighting me, and if they haven't, that's their mistake, right? And he's done this a couple of times now where he comes out the apartments, judges so much on that first look in at the site, and if he doesn't get contact, he knows that it is one of these like heavy short side setups that NiP like to employ.
Especially on anti-ecos, he's had his most impact. Now, I don't just mean like, oh, he's farming ecos. Like, those rounds can get very dangerous, especially with double out setups, but he's 2 rounds of double push apps, he's destroyed them. That round he walks out as well. He's had some really good reads on what NiP want to do in their ecos, and you know, just makes them super clean. Heroic haven't had any problems dealing with pistols this series. We call them a team that doesn't get upset, and that extends to winning rounds that you need to win. Winning your anti-ecos, which can really change the tide of a game. And when you don't lose your anti-ecos, this is what it looks like. 11-2. NiP have nothing. 3-on-5. Where you just have to rely on anyone to bail you out, but Rez will probably get smoked off, and he has nothing to stop them on the B site. They go at least into Config and Alexi. That's a good flash. Config sees a trajectory as well. He knows there's more. Alexi's made noise. That's big info for Heroic. They could just go B right now. stavn's already walking in.
Okay, stavn dead crossing. Rez now knows that they've got their eyes set here, but Yabi is still finding impact over at the apartments. Him and Shush worlds apart, and Heroic love these rotates, but this one all hinges on this fight v Config, and with knife pulled for Shush, he's working on a very limited time frame here. That's the bomb away, and for Heroic, the round with it. Yabi is 15 seconds, but no way back into this one, surely.
Unwinnable.
They are going to face him. They'll peek him together, but Config walks it over the line, and so a much-needed third up on the board for NiP. Thanks to that, you know, wild decision in the 2v2 to rotate back with the bomb. Looking to link back up with Yabi on his apps BS.
They've had some cheeky rotations, some cheeky lurk plays, have Heroic finding a lot of gaps. So, I can't really blame them for going for that, trying to play together, but honestly, from what we can see, if he plants the bomb there, they probably still win the round, don't they? Just trying to minimize risk. But Config, he's found some nice gaps, man. I feel like Config's been the one player in the series who hasn't really had a lot of issues. He's put up a lot of multi-kills. Yeah,
but he's being like poised this impossible task, which is you need to carry this game on your back single-handedly, or else it's done. And even though he goes in, he gets his 1 kill, no one else can hold up their side of the bargain. Brolin finally with something going his way, but it's in a round that's already too far gone to close out this first half. NiP might be grouping. They might have to give this one, they do have to give this one a go, but they're just being enticed into these waiting guns of Heroic. cadiaN smites them down. The captain puts up the last few kills for a dominant half for Heroic. They are moving towards those playoffs, and they are just 4 rounds away.
bullets were the ultimate recipe for success. But here's the gun round, and here's where we saw Na'Vi start to establish themselves on Mirage. It's always been these quick starts to halves for Big, but once the weaponry's in, that's where Na'Vi start to shine.
Yeah, Hype invested into the AWP early as well. See him in towards Quad, looking for any sort of fight. MPL wants to get up into the apartments, but the Flames are going to make that difficult at the moment. Jumps on through. Bit crawls up the stairs as well, like a antagonist in a Japanese horror movie. Just the default now from Na'Vi. A lot of space being taken towards Banana in this fight, but it's Hype that gets the first frag. MPL falls and he flashes back in so we can take a further aggressive stance. No response from Na'Vi yet.
This angle's really shallow. I don't think you expect this if you're Na'Vi. Simple. Hasn't even got an AK, it's just a Galil. And they haven't actually really applied any pressure towards the top of brackets despite losing the opening kill, which means that Big can just remain anchored in. Heavily ingrained within the site. 30 seconds left. Na'Vi need to start making a move. Big have got 3 players over towards B right now. So there's a heavy reliance on this AWP. Turns the flashbang and then gets overwhelmed by the Galil.
Yeah, Krimbo's already playing a defensive position, and while he needs to stay alive here, or at least find a couple swings on out, does get a kill. Takes down Bit. Simple actually helps him out there. That spam almost finds a kill. One more bullet connects onto Simple there, and they go for this retake every single day. Simple, lucky to be alive. And the difference that bullet makes means that Na'Vi get this round 100%.
You see how just confused he was there as well, the player cam. He's like, oh my God, like how has this spam connected onto me? But finally, that's the breakthrough that Na'Vi needed. They were very disciplined in how they wanted to approach that. They knew if they could just sit, remain patient, wind down the clock, there'd be a little bit of doubt creeping into Big's mind.
We embark into a second half that ends up feeling like a formality. Heroic have already done all the legwork at the end of that first half of play. They now sit just 4 rounds away from a repeat of a run in Rio. And they're out for blood. That much has been made clear in this NiP series. This is a ludicrously dominant match right now in favor of Heroic. In that first one, it ends 16-5. Here, they're looking to make it even more decisive, sending themselves into a playoffs appearance riding on a high.
Yeah, they look like contenders for that title, as we already said. Many teams do right now with Furious form and Na'Vi, Cloud9 still here. But right now, Heroic with a statement win, or at least an attempt at it. Can they close it as quick as they started? 12-3. And a pistol round that I needn't tell you matters here for NiP. They're going to flash pop into middle. They've still got Man and Banana. If they want to bail and go back, that's an option. But coming in through this smoke, creepy crawly into Yabby. Not the guy I'd want to face right now. He's having a fantastic day. Will die to Config. That opens up the CT spawn. Brolin's going to be left doing nothing in this round unless the bomb goes back. It will. Good time for it to do so. Config has that rotate cut off, and Rez just about lives. NiP play their cards very right, and they've only got to take down Tessez.
Yeah, I feel like Heroic are just going to all rotate down through mid, though, and they're even trying to get ahead of that right now. They know that somewhere in spawn, Config is off on some wild lurk, right? And Tessez has been waiting here at the back of the site the whole damn round. NiP think that this site's empty, and Tessez dodges them, dropping the bomb! Tessez plays it to perfection! NiP thought they had this round in the bag, and now it all rests on the shoulders of Config. This has been the one giant for NiP, but an impossible task as he's overran. Heroic win the pistol, and they can feel it now.
They thought they had it. Alexi fakes it, so they clear backside, and Tessez dodged the player checking him. Alexi went back for the plant. I can't even blame him. It looked empty. Oh yeah, quad clear. No, it's not. Tessez puts on 2 spectacular kills. And that is a heartbreak for NiP. That might be the game. This series has been what can Config do? And even though he's doing his best, it's not enough for NiP. We need more familiar faces, and Heroic seconds away from the crowd. cadiaN spots those close players. This is a bit awkward, but the nades come flying back in. And NiP take a beating. My oh my. Winning rounds they never should be. cadiaN goes back to grab that smoke off the floor. Config up in apartments, wins his, but how much space can he take? stavn still has this control. He'll hear him coming. Or will he? Cutting noise at the right time. He can go right past this. Even if Yabby dies, he dies for info here, and that sets stavn up.
Config's the one man playing with confidence here, right? Taking a lot of space up through the apartments. stavn with the backstab, though, and they think the apps is clear. It was not. stavn waited there the whole damn time. Robs them of this bomb and of this plant in an even odds bout. It's all on Config, and they won't give him the room. stavn lurks through the apartments, lives in their nightmares as he shuts them out of that force buy round.
Yeah,
NiP are done.
Yeah, Yabby gave him a key, right? He's his roommate now. He's just moved in because this has been Yabby's house all map long. It's not just keys getting cut, it's lifelines for NiP after qualifying for the major, after starting this tournament strong with a statement over Imperial. And a decent series over 9, who have been an upset team. NiP avoid that devastation, but only delay it to this final map of the group.
You know, I think for NiP, there's always been this question around consistency. Someone like Hedrick, you know, that gets a little more understandable. He's new to this level, new to this sort of pressure that comes with it and having to perform. He's dropped off a bit coming into this one.
But the names of Brolin and Rez, these are names that you have higher expectations of.
And that's the thing, right? And I think that was all a part of this kind of downfall of Hedrick, right? It's a lot of pressure to put on him and Config to be the ones trying to make these rounds happen. Config, the one man who's been able to deal with that pressure, but you lose so much when Brolin's had a series like this. He's normally the guy who opens up rounds for you, who makes magic happen in the start of them. Heroic haven't really had to be worried about how that first kill's going to go. It feels set in stone that they're the ones to get it. And even when they don't, their ability to kind of manipulate you and play around in these man disadvantage moments can't be understated.
And even when NiP do have good games, right, even though they've taken a couple of series here, sure, taken down no Titans, you know, the highest 2 rated players of the event for them have been Hedrick in first and Config right behind. So we've not even, you know, it's, the names you expect, the high value brand names here for NiP haven't necessarily been the way in. That's awkward. cadiaN falls off the boost. They run him down. Rez, that's more like it. 2 kills, but blink and you miss it. The round disappears into the mist.
That's just wild as well. Like, NiP didn't even have time to realize that that was getting out of hand. They went on this emotional roller coaster where they were like, okay, this is it. We finally have something going, only for it to immediately get turned the other way. And so it might all end not with a bang, with a whimper for NiP. Flashed into long. Tessez saw them crossing, and he now has this game and a playoff appearance for Heroic in the palm of his hands. Moving in, they will turn around and hold him. Hedrick nails that shot, but Yabby still lurks over towards B, still waits down at the base of Banana. So this one is not over yet.
They're going to clear their corners this time for NiP, and that will give Yabby time to go back up Banana. And hey, I wouldn't want another pair in this position right now. It's the unlikely duo of Config and Hedrick. Buddies at the back of the bomb site. Yabby waits for stavn on a long rotation. This is going to give NiP ample time to set up again. Resupplying utility. Yabby gets a coffin smoke in. That forces Config to CT, but that's a perfect position for where the bomb is set up. Will Yabby be able to break through this crossfire?
Yabby moving in. Config nails that shot, and so stavn's got to do it alone. Clutches have been kind to Heroic, but this one should be one step too far. It's a nice crossfire held by Hedrick and Config. When you put them in a round like that, and they're able to shine a little bit more, it's all, you know, just playing together, playing these crossfires. They make it happen. They find a 4th round, but this is nothing more than, you know, a couple of consolation rounds right now. You don't even envision a world where that was the changing of the tides.
Yeah, even with cadiaN being very honest about, Heroic's expectations and the lack of preparation for a tournament like this, it really is a good sign to see them come through with such a dominant day. They want to end it as well. They don't want to wait around. Their impatience could give NiP a couple here towards the end, though. Again, cadiaN getting smoked off. He'll have to respect it, trading that util. But man, for me, I always enjoy watching cadiaN have a good time. Let's see if he can put this orb to use. Yabi set him up with it. Put his captain in a position to close, and stavn by his side is there to do exactly that.
Yeah, Config, the one bright spark, tries to get involved, but there's that AWP that was brought forward into this round. Yabi did drop it, so he doesn't have armor, but he's still going to nail that opportunity. Brolin dead, and Hedrick opens up the A play. cadiaN gets a little ballsy. He knows that Yabi was down at Banana. He holds for this rotate for a moment, but that's given Yabi a lot of time to already make this rotate up through CT, through the speedway. Aptly named, as he's very quick to this position. Hedrick has a moment now to think about how he wants to play this 1v1. Everything is on the line for NiP.
No kit is big here because it looks like he's wrapping Boiler, and if he does that, Yabi can't even stick. He's not going to stick. He checks the right position, but Hedrick is up and left. Is there a kit anywhere? It doesn't look like it for Yabi. He's left chasing ghosts. Has to drop back in and cross again. Unless Hedrick gives him the kill, there's no way. Smoke on the bomb. No. That makes things a little awkward. Yabi's just going to full stick. Why not? It's an AWP, but he gets off. I think he looked at the ground, and that pulled him off the defuse. I don't think he meant to get off that bomb. A little awkward. Hedrick will end it. 3 kills in the round, but he dies to the bomb. Yeah, if Yabi was on the ledge, he would have stayed on that stick, but because he was off the ledge, he looked away. He looked down, and that pulled him off the defuse for sure. That's a little awkward, but as we said, Heroic have the room. They can throw away a couple here and there and not worry yet.
Yeah, they're even force buying now, and I mean, it would be very heroic to have a couple of rounds go against you when you've got all the bells and whistles, only to go and do it with less. These rounds are actually very scary because Heroic play like they've got nothing to lose if they weren't already playing that way anyway, right? These ones get even more intense as a result. Nades rain down Banana. Brolin softened up by them, and they will trade him. He only goes 1 for 1 here. Banana now corrupted. The bomb is dropped down at T-Ramp. The alarm bells are starting to go off a bit as Alexi goes back to try and get it. NiP have got all this control up the long side. That's been combed across, but on the swing, they deal with cadiaN and stavn. So they're looking good to convert this at least. Slowly building, but still a ways away from us believing in this comeback.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted to look for any positive sign, it's with rounds like this for someone like Hedrick. He's won a couple of important rounds, right? Him and Config won that 2v3. Then you had Hedrick winning the 1v1 that built them back into this. So in terms of getting more players switched on, this is at least going to do that. But it still is this weird feeling of a 2-man army for NiP versus the cohesive machine that is Heroic. Why, there's not a weak link in sight.
Yeah. Cogs have been whirring all right. Oiled and ready to go. And if this is how, Yabi's playing right now with the day he had yesterday, I can't imagine him after another day's rest tomorrow. Of course, we enter the arena on the 21st. And with Furia there as well in quarterfinals at least, if not semis, I think some people are going to show up, Harry. I think it's going to get a little bit loud. And for me, for my money, I want that Furia Na'Vi rematch from the quarterfinals of the Rio Major. There's a world, there's a way. But will we? Heroic come back in still with another eco, playing hopefully a little tighter. cadiaN, he's never really let his foot off the gas. He makes sure his boys don't throw away any map, any match, and so this must be one of them. The call has definitely been made. All right, tighten up. Because while it's no worry yet, these games can creep up very quickly. We've seen comebacks in every situation.
He just knows as well that the last thing you want is for anyone for NiP to start believing in this comeback, right? Because that matters a hell of a lot. You kind of had a team that was not believing, and doubting every move they were making, right? And so you don't want that vibe to change. He's trying to get the boys to screw their heads on now. Tessez
Perfect
dead on the swing, and trapped in the corner is Yabi. Don't know how he's still alive.
How? I think they've cleared that for sure. That's a deep corner. Can Yabi get that gun over to someone else? There are armored players, and so hot potato into cadiaN's hands. Oh, Shush has a smoke.
Immediately crosses out. They hear this. They hear the reposition. Config tries to chase it, but not even needed. Rez lights him up from the apartments, carving a path into the A site. One kill from cadiaN's AK, but the rest of Heroic are going to save, and Config learns about this. Really just can't understate the performance that Config has given us here, right? 25 kills deep. He is the most frags in the entire server. He's been that one shining light at the end of the tunnel for NiP.
Yeah, it's been unreal. He was doing it as well on the previous map, having a lot of T-side impact on overpass. Ooh, don't like this. stavn had to take that fight eventually, and yeah, no saves allowed for NiP, sure. I'm just not at the point yet where I'm considering anything. Heroic need another gun round. They're lost. They threw it away a little bit in a 2v2, but this one, ship shape. Batten down the hatches and get yourself to the playoffs here at Rio.
They won't be able to field the AWP, so I wonder if that's going to impact how they look to approach this. They are fine to play with rifles, are Heroic. But it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, hello. They're throwing the money in. I saw Yabi buy an MP9, so I thought maybe it was going to be like a low econ round, but nah, we still have that investment around it. It's a lack in the AWP, sure. But every other bell and whistle you could possibly want. Yabi also has the spawn for Banana, and so this MP9 buy feels pretty intentional for my money. I think his plan is to try and get up in their face. Triple B lean out of the gate for Heroic. Yabi looks to deliver.
He's not taking it, he's just chilling behind the car for now. Mollied out by NiP, but something for later for sure. NiP are doing a very aggressive A round with a flash, with a couple of mollies that don't connect, miss utility, and they get punished. Oh dear, can he really survive? Shush stuck out underneath porch. He's going to run away. Config through the smoke. cadiaN's gun not up in time. And Config is really sublime right now. Another triple kill from this Dane up against Heroic. And he has more to say as well. Shush is back in the pit. And Config is needed right now on this smoke walk. The turn is bad timing. And Config was on for the ace, but it gets denied. It's his helping hand of head trick that will end the round. Dude, Config does not want to go home.
No, he has given this all he's got. You know, I said towards the end of that first half, they tasked him with an impossible job. They've tasked him with something impossible here, where he just has to stand and deliver and drag NiP kicking and screaming into this game. And my God, he is trying so hard every step of the way. He's been the man to depend on at nearly 30 kills deep.
Just compare the kill count on NiP. There's never been a bigger gap. 23 from top to bottom. My, oh my.
And don't get me wrong, it's great that Config can do this, and it's great that he's looking this good, but the one thing that always scares me is all it takes is that one misstep where Config finally doesn't win an opener, where he finally is one of these first guys to fall, and suddenly it all dissipates, right? Everything falls away before your very eyes.
Oh, what?
Down in the pit with the Deagle. That's one hell of a trade from Headtrick.
They've got it.
Stop that getting out of hand. And now they move into an empty A site. Heroic just going to try and scavenge whatever they can. I mean, hell, they're buying next round anyway. You can make a case for giving this a look in, right? Sure. Trying to make it interesting in the 3-on-3. They've got the AK for Shush. Pistols on everyone else. Alexi lives up to his side of the deal over in the apartments, and so Heroic will just look to save these guns. 9-15, 6 rounds away from the comeback.
6 in a row, Harry. They're halfway there. They are halfway there.
This would be an absolutely mental game if they're able to keep this up. Like,
I don't even want to. I still don't want to even pretend, but 6 rounds in a row. I mean, Heroic. At what point do they start getting scared? That's a question for me, if ever.
You know, I think if you're Heroic, you're going to keep believing all the way to round 30 if you get there that, like, you just need that one round to win you the game, right? You just need that one good opener, that one spray down from someone like Yabi, one cheeky double from a cadiaN AWP, something that we still have yet to actually see make this appearance since NiP really embarked on this streak, right? He's been kind of hamstrung in terms of the money, but that ends now. So cadiaN will get to don the big green. He will get to bring his weapon of choice out into this round.
I think it was the first or the second round that NiP were embarking on this comeback. It was like a 2v2 that cadiaN jumped around a corner and reaggressed, got a little cheeky, and that's what left us here with a bit of momentum in NiP's pocket, but still, this is the buy. Heroic can't waste their opportunity.
So much of this game is weighted on Config not dying in the early round.
Yes.
You need him alive. But at the same time, he's got to be the guy to make plays. He is towing an impossible line, and he's making it work. But how long can that keep up? Because this is the weight of your tournament life on the shoulders of really one man.
That's how it's felt. Faking out B. It's going to be a mid-take. Config on the T side tightrope. A gust of wind or a wrong foot placed, and this might be NiP eliminated from Rio. The molly ticks. Tesses is being set up by stavn, but he's going to get smoked off as well. Rez making noise in apps. Nades go out. Alexi gets the entry. Config past that point already. Will once again go through this smoke, and the backs are turned. The timing is excellent. Config is poised for more success. He's going to go to play B. They want to cut rotates and actually go back into the banana. Yabi and cadiaN are here, and the latter of which has the perfect angle with this AWP. Config might get cut down before he has a chance. He's going to be left trying to lock down A. 30 seconds. This banana hit has to come through.
And it's weird now, you know, as Config moves in,
There
that's him dead to the AWP. It was only a matter of time. Now, at nearly 30 kills deep, Config has to watch from beyond the grave as his team try and keep them in this. It might all fall apart with the death of Config. That one man, that Goliath is dealt with, and Heroic do it in two. All it took was the death of the Dane that caused them so many problems, and then victory felt assured.
Yeah, a shaky day for Heroic, but they step up in this match here. Yabi looks like a monster, ends nearly 30 kills as well, and this team looking for a repeat in Rio.